Purpose, vision, mission, values. Most corporations have them, and few of their employees know what they are or what they mean. So in this video, we'll tackle a truly fundamental task: how to shape your organization's purpose, vision, mission, and values in a way that connects with people's hearts, not just checks a box. And at the end, as a bonus, I'll answer a very frequently asked question: how does profit fit in with all of this? I'm Bekki Kate, employer brand consultant and founder of CATO Creative. We exist to help you bring more work-life balance to the world by bringing the human and simple into employer branding, because it's for humans and what's simple gets done. Speaking of simple, a really helpful way to put these four important concepts into context is to use a road trip analogy. Why a road trip analogy? Because there are a lot of parallels between a road trip and a business, especially through an employer branding, talent acquisition, and employee engagement lens. Both road trips and careers are a combination of exciting and daunting and require long and short-term planning. Everyone coming along for the journey needs to know why they should care, where you're going, how you're going to get there, and what to expect along the way, otherwise known as your purpose, vision, mission, and values. First, your organization's purpose. This is the why of your organization. Why do you do what you do? A meaningful purpose is not about profit or products or status. It's about the change you want to bring to the world. Let's take a look at a powerful example: Patagonia. Their purpose: we are in business to save our home planet. Simple, relatable, emotionally engaging, and much bigger than just to sell clothes. But look, not every purpose has to be that grand. Brewmate's purpose, for example, is to help you drink better. Founder Dylan Jacobs said he founded the drinkware company when, quote, "I was drinking a 16-ounce beer, forgot about it for around 15 minutes, and came back to an undrinkable warm beer. I hate warm beer." So again, simple, relatable, and emotionally engaging, but in a completely different way. So bringing in the road trip analogy, your purpose is why you've decided to go. And if you've got a meaningful purpose, other people will want to join you. On to vision, the future you aspire to create. Simon Sinek says a good vision must be resilient, inclusive, and service-oriented. In other words, it should stand through technological or cultural changes. It should be relevant to all of your employees, not just some. And the primary beneficiary shouldn't be your organization. And unfortunately, the most common box-checking vision statements break all of these guidelines and sound something like, "We want to be the best X in Y industry." That is emotionally engaging to exactly no employees. Plus, it's completely vague. The best by what measure? Bringing in the road trip analogy, if someone asks you to go on a road trip and you say, "Where are you going?" and they say, "Somewhere I'll be the best," are you motivated? Even if they say somewhere we'll be the best, I'm still totally unclear on what that means and immediately skeptical. Instead, paint a clear picture of the ideal future. And since I've referenced Simon already, let's look at his vision as an example. I imagine a world in which the vast majority of people wake up every day inspired to go to work, feel safe and valued while they are there, and return home at the end of the day fulfilled. It's ambitious, specific, inspiring, and relatable. Any potential employee could hear that and think, yeah, I want that too. I want to help create that future. Fun side note, that's pretty much our vision too here at CATO. We just work towards achieving it in a different way, which brings me to mission. Your how. This is where things become a little less conceptual as we're talking about what your company is doing to fulfill your purpose and get closer to your vision. For example, our mission at CATO is to help big companies get really clear on their organization's identity so that they can attract, keep, and inspire their teams. It's specific and connects with our vision. Which brings me to an important point. I'm often asked if having all three, purpose, vision, and mission, is necessary. And while I'm not dogmatic about approaches, I will say that having them all articulated provides a much richer story about your organization. For example, if you just read CATO's mission statement, we help big companies get really clear on their organization's identity so they can attract, keep, and inspire their teams, it's less emotionally engaging than if you were to understand our vision, what we're trying to create, which is a world in which the vast majority of people wake up every day inspired to go to work, feel safe and valued while they're there, and return home at the end of the day fulfilled. In the road trip analogy, your mission is simply how you're going to get to that destination, your roadmap. But how do you ensure this road trip isn't going to be a chaotic nightmare with everyone fighting about how to get there? Values, your guiding principles. These are your road trip rules. They set the tone for your journey. How will you treat fellow drivers? Adhere to speed limits? Respect the environment along the way? Your organizational values are your ethical GPS guiding your team's behavior on the journey. A good example is Airbnb. Champion the mission, be a host, embrace the adventure, be a serial entrepreneur. Their values are unique and provide a clear behavioral framework for their culture. And as promised, here's how profit fits into the whole thing. Some people think that being purpose-driven and pursuing profit have to be at odds with each other. I don't believe that's true if you understand the relationship to each other. Profit is your fuel. And I don't mean that metaphorically, like profit is what fuels us. I mean it more literally, as in you need it to keep driving towards your destination. On a road trip, the fuel or how much of it you use or hoard isn't the point. It isn't motivating or impressive, but you need it. Phil Knight put it more succinctly in his book, Shoe Dog. Business is no more about making money than the human body is about making blood. Yes, you need to make the stuff, but only to serve your higher aims. So there it is. Crafting your organization's purpose, vision, mission, and values is more than a bureaucratic box-checking exercise. It's the soul of your organization and a rallying cry for your team. If you're wondering how purpose, vision, mission, and values fit into the big picture of employer branding, definitely check out my What is an Employer Brand video linked below. And if you've made it to the end of this video, chances are you're an HR or a talent expert or CEO that cares about people. So thank you. I'm grateful for the work you're doing. Your work is important. Until next time, wishing you all more work-love balance.